Hi, my name is Kenneth Hicks, and this is my persuasion video on why I think motorcycles should be banned in the United States. In April of 2020, on the 25th day, as a matter of fact, 6:15 p.m., my son was killed while riding his motorcycle. He was going westbound and she was going eastbound, and she turned right in front of him, and he hit the side of the car at about 45 or 50 miles an hour. It killed him instantly. So this is some of the pictures that we're looking at that I took of his bike afterwards. So just to let the audience know that motorcycles are really dangerous and people don't pay attention. So we're going to look at some of the pictures of his bike. So that's the initial at the tow yard. And there's some others. So I want you to take a good look at this bike and just see the damage that was done to the bike, and think about it. He hit this car at 50 miles an hour head on. There's no way, even if you have a helmet on, that you're gonna survive that kind of collision. So this is what was left of my son's bike. So I just like to show these pictures to everyone see this is a true and real incident. So anyway, those are pictures of my son's bike afterwards. So what we're thinking about is, how safe are motorcycles actually? They're really not safe. In 2017, 59.34 fatalities occurred per 100,000 registered motorcycles. Okay, this gives us roughly 0.59% of accidents. So when you think about that, and you think about these accidents, 1,018 injuries per 100,000 registered vehicles. That's over 10% of the motorcycle accidents. You know, so 10%, think about it. 10%. So when you think about it, motorcycles account for 3%. It's going to be 3% of the registered riders. Okay, 3% of the registered riders, right? And despite that, they make up 14% of all traffic fatalities. That's a lot when you think about there's more cars on the road than there are motorcycles. That's an awful lot. So statistics show that 1,908 motorcyclists died in 2017. Think about that. You're talking about 1,908 people that got killed on their motorcycle riding throughout the United States. That's a lot of people being killed riding a motorcycle, you know. And previous to that, we had 5,326 fatalities. So, you know, that gives us a rate about 35%. So yeah, I'm thinking these motorcycles are dangerous and that they should really, honestly, be banned. So let's think about this. How dangerous are motorcycles and cars? Let's see. Motorcycles and cars making left-hand turns, cars and trucks making left-hand turns are particularly dangerous to motorcycles. You believe that? That they're dangerous to the motorcycles. 42% of the fatal motorcycle accidents occurred while a truck or a car was making a left-hand turn. A left-hand turn. So I'm just thinking that that's not, oh, by the way, my wife is my audience, but it's kind of hard for her to kind of listen to this. So she's walked away for a moment. But anyway, you are 29 times more likely to die in a fatal motorcycle accident than you are riding in a car. That's something. 29 times more likely to be a fatality riding on a bike than you are in a car. And it doesn't get any better. If you're 40 years or older and you're riding on a motorcycle, you are 54% more likely to be involved in a fatal crash. 54%. So you see, as you get older, it actually rises. So we think that it's just the young people, but if you're over 40, you're at risk. Of the motorcycle riders that were involved in crashes in 2019, 30% were riding without a motorcycle license. So they didn't have an endorsement. They had a regular driver's license, but they didn't have an endorsement. Now, one of the things that we need to do, I think personally, would be you can't buy a car without a driver's license. So you shouldn't be able to get a motorcycle without a driver's license. It's not feasible. You just shouldn't be able to do it. So I'm going to take this down here for a moment and just lay it down. And I want to show you something. So here's a chart that I have here. You probably can't see it, so I'm going to put it a little closer, but that's the chart. Okay? So when you look at this chart, and I'm looking 2010, we had 4,519 fatalities, right? You had 8,000, you had over 800,000 bikes that was registered. So that was 56.41% per 100,000 motorcycles that was registered, traveling roughly around 18,513 miles. In 2011, if you were able to look at that chart again, the same thing, it went up to 4,630. And, the fatalities dropped a little. It was 54.87 for 18,542 miles traveled over the highway. So that's a lot. And so when you go down and you think about all this, in 2019, you had 84,000 injuries. You had, over 800,000 motorcycles registered. That's 975 motorcycles per 100,000. And they were traveling an average of 19.68 miles on the road. So they do a lot of traveling on the road. A lot of accidents occur when you're driving down the road and a motorcycle's trying to overtake a truck, or he's trying to overtake a car, and you have somebody sitting at an intersection and that person is making, once again, this one is a right-hand turn, but then this motorcycle is overtaking the vehicle, so he's on the left-hand side, which is where he's supposed to be. And that vehicle ends up turning, but because the motorcycle is traveling at a high rate of speed, at a high rate of speed to pass the vehicle, they end up in a crash. So you just have to be safe. Now, 40% of the people are wearing helmets, so that'll save them. But there are 19 states without a helmet law. So think about this. If you're involved in an accident riding on your motorcycle and you don't have a helmet on, that increases the likelihood that you will be killed in an accident. So how safe? How safe are motorcycles? See, final word for motorcycle safety. How safe is a motorcycle? So statistically speaking, from what I've showed you here and from what I've read, okay, you can see those motorcycles are not safe. Okay, so I'm here to persuade you that if you're thinking about riding a motorcycle, check around, see what's happening in your city, your town, your state, to see how safe it might be for you to ride on a motorcycle. And I'm guaranteeing you that you're probably gonna find it's, statistically speaking, it's not safe. So once again, my name is Kenneth Hicks. I thank you for sharing a moment with me so I could present these statistics to you and hopefully persuade you not to ride a motorcycle. So thank you. God bless you. Have a great day.